Hi guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video lesson, we're going to be looking at grade 10 maths functions, finding the equation of a parabola and graph interpretation as well. Okay, so the first question I want to look at, I want to go down here to the November 2017 paper 1 and look at question 5. And it says that the diagram shows the graphs of g of x equals to ax squared plus q. Now remember that this is the standard form of a parabola, and they also tell us that f of x equals to mx plus c, which is a straight line function. R and s is 2 and 0 are the x-intercepts of g. So g is our parabola and it's given to us in the standard form. And if you understand the standard form, remember that q is going to be our y-intercept or our turning point, because remember that it's in the form ax squared plus q, which means that the axis of symmetry is going to be the y-axis, which is x equals to 0, right? So it means that all points are going to be symmetrical about this line here, x equals to 0, which is the y-axis. So if they tell us that R and S are these points here, by symmetry, you can now find this point R, which will be minus 2 and 0. Okay, remember that this is the turning point or the y-intercept. So your q value is equals to 8 there. All right. So there's a parabola, there's a straight line there. Okay, see, even, right, if you look here now, see, you got 2 points here now on the straight line. You can actually find the gradient of the straight line over here. And the gradient of the line, what they call it, f, equals to y2 minus y1. So 8 minus 0, 8 minus 0, right? y2 minus y1 all over 0 minus minus 2. So it will be 0 minus minus 2, which is going to equals to 8 over 2, which is 4. Right? See, positive gradient because the line is sloping upwards. You can see upwards to the right. Right? So this means now this equation of this straight line will be y equals to mx plus c, which is going to be 4x plus 8. See, so I even taught you how to find the equation of a straight line. Now, let's answer some of these questions quickly. Write down the range of g. Now the range means for what values of y this function exists. If you look here, it's not going to go above this point 8 here. That's going to be the maximum value, we call it, right? It's not going to go above that. So that means the range of g is going to be y less than equals to 8 for all real values of y. Write down the x coordinate of r. I already told you that one is minus 2 and 0. Why? By symmetry. Remember in grade 10 that we deal with the standard form function y equals to ax squared plus q. There's it here, right? And all of these parabolas are going to have an axis of symmetry x equals to 0. Okay, so if the standard form is y equals to ax squared plus q, remember that you are going to have an axis of symmetry of here of x equals to 0. All right. Now it says calculate the values of a and of q. So now they want us, basically what they're saying is find the equation of the parabola here, okay, which is the intent and purpose of today's video. So if you look at that now, we just need to find a point. So you got a point here, you got S and you got R. So you got that, and you also got the y-intercept here, which is going to be q equals to. So you got the q value as well. So for 5.3, all you can do there now is you can substitute. So you're going to substitute my 1 point there, which is S, 2 and 0, and I'm going to substitute q equals to 8 in the standard form function y equals to ax squared plus q. Remember that's your x and that's your y value. So you say 0 equals to, we're going to solve for a here times 2 squared plus 8. So you got negative 8 there. 2 squared is 4 for a. Therefore a is going to equals to minus 8 over 4 is going to equals to minus 2. Therefore the function now is going to be, there's it here, g of x equals to minus 2x squared plus 8. So g of x, so if they ask you now for the equation, you just say g of x equals to minus 2x squared plus 8, right? But then they just ask you for a and q. Q is equals to 8 and a is equals to minus 2, right? We already found the equation of f. I showed you. F is a straight line function. Okay, so there's it here. mx plus c. Remember, m is the gradient, c is the y-intercept. It shares a y-intercept with the parabola, right? So f of x is equal to, you can write over here, f of x is same here, 4x plus 8. Okay, learners, now here they're saying where f of x equals to g of x. Use the graphs to determine the values of x for which f of x equals to g of x. Now where f of x equals to g of x is the intersection points here. So there they both equal here at what's this here? What's these points? X equals to -2 and x equals to 0. So for this one here, it will be x equals to -2, x equals to 0. That's where they intersect each other. They want the values of x. For this next question here, they say, where is x times g of x less than equals to 0? So less than equals to 0 means negative and also 0. So where they actually going to equal to 0, you multiply these two values, x times g of x, it's going to be less than equals to 0. So what this means is we're looking for our rules of multiplication here. So are we looking for where x is positive times and where g of x is going to be negative? Negative means now where it's going to be below the x-axis. Or you're looking for where x is negative times and you're going to be looking for positive where g is above the x-axis. So let's just go look at that very quickly. So what I'm looking at is the following. Let's see, right? The highlighter will help us here. So all the x values here are all negative, right? All negative x values. Now, if you have to look now, we're looking for negative times positive. Remember, g is this one over here now. So g is positive right through over here, right? So a negative times a positive, negative there times a positive there will give us negative. So it's between these 2 points over here, -2 and 0. So the first answer there will be where here it will be x greater than equals to -2 and less than equals to 0. Okay, second one, what we're looking for? We're looking for positive times negative. So let's see here, right? Positive, all the x values here are all positive x values. But here, what can you say? All these y values are negative. If you look carefully now, you got positive and there you got negative. And there's this point over here. So that means this will only going to happen here if x is greater than equals to 2. So you write over here, or x must be greater than equals to 2, right? And I think that should do it here for this particular question. Now, the last one is the graph h is obtained when g is reflected along the line y equals to 0. Write down the equation of h in the form h of x equals to px squared plus k. Now what's happening? What's this reflected along this line y equals to 0? Reflected along the line y equals to 0 is this line over here, the x-axis. All you need to remember is reflection for the x-axis is the following. That means h of x is now going to become, right? Remember, g is the one being reflected. It will be minus g of x. Basically, when you do a reflection in the x-axis, your x value will remain the same, but your y value, the sign of your y value changes. So the rule is that if that is now x, y, that becomes becomes x and minus 1, x and minus y. So any point now that you reflect, let's say you reflect this point here, this point, t is 0 and 8. So what it will become? It will become 0 and minus 8. So this whole thing is going to be reflected here about this x-axis. Is going to look something like this. Right, so what's going to happen now? As you can see, right, it's going to be from a maximum to a minimum value. But what you can do, even an easier way, is just remember the rule, h of x equals to minus g of x for any reflection. When they say line y equals to 0, what it means? It means your x-axis reflection. So you just have to say minus, what's the function for g of x? There's a function for g of x. So over here, what you did, it's minus 2x squared plus 8. So you say minus into minus 2x squared plus 8. And take the minus in the brackets will be 2x squared minus 8. So therefore, h of x equals 2x squared minus 8. That is, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to JL Maths. You can also go to my website jlmaths.com, where you can watch all the videos for free in order of the work schedule. Also like my Facebook page, Justin Lazarus Mathematics, and I will catch you in the next video.